Hey, what's up, family? This is Terrence. I'm coming back at you. Today's episode, well, actually, this evening, thanks for coming to hang out with me. But this evening, what we are going to be talking about is none other than black males. This is the Priority First show. And so we're going to be discussing black males only. Ladies, we love you. You can always chime in, right? You can always have something to say. But the primary focus is black males. Period. We're not going to deal with you guys, none of your problems. This is not about relationships with women. This is primarily focusing on black males and how black males can become better men for the ladies. That's right. So, if you want your partner to become a better man, send them over this way. This is what we do here. We turn brothers into better men for our sisters. That's right. And this ain't no jive. No jive. This is 110% serious on this page. Brothers, if you're listening, if you're watching, right? Let's dig in. Let's get into it. The previous show, this is a show that builds. This is Intel Solutions is a channel that works and focuses on building from one day to the next, from one time to the next. So here we go. This is what we're going to be doing here. Today, we are focusing on rule number one. We're always going to go back to it. Do no harm, right? Do no harm. By the way, like, subscribe, don't like, dislike, put in your comments. If I'm doing something well, let me know. If I could do something better, please let me know, right? I'm only one person. I know everything, but not everything. You dig what I'm saying? I know everything, but not everything. So, which means, you guys, I just know a lot about what I'm talking about, okay? So, clue me in. Your comments, right? I know that you guys like a lot about what I talk about, but if I could be talking about something else that's going to reach everybody, because we are 45 to 60 million black people strong in America, according to their census, right? And so if we're 45 to 60 million black people strong, what we want to do is take those numbers and increase them and grow them. But we can't increase, we can't grow if we're hurting each other, right? That would make people not even want to be around each other. Black people, I'm trying to get you guys to fall in love with each other all over again. Everybody talks about the black unity. I'm showing you the way. I'm not asking you to pick your cross up and follow me. Only thing I'm simply saying is please take some heed to what it is that I'm saying to you. That's all. Because we all have our own crosses to bear, right? We definitely all have our own crosses to bear. Just real quick, I just want to make sure that I'm having everything set up, because I'm still getting used to the situation. Right, so I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see what it is that I'm seeing on my screen, so that we could all be on the same page. Let's see here. I can share that screen. Sorry about that, you guys. Everybody. So here, so the first thing that we're going to do, you guys, we're always going to focus on rule number one. We're always going to start with rule number one. Do no harm. I mean, I done said it so much, even I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, don't do any harm. Just whatever you do, don't do any harm. As of late, I've been using, not as of late, in times past, dealing with black people got me using a lot of profanity. I'm not really a profanity using person. That's not how I grew up. It just wasn't even me. I just wasn't a profanity using person. Right? It just wasn't me. However, as time grew, as I got older, I started using a lot more profane language. But that's doing harm to myself. Why is that doing harm? Because I'm saying harmful things. But what I'm trying to do in my attempt is to get people to understand what it is that I'm saying and that I actually mean what I'm saying. Because unless people are cursing, using profanity, you a lame, you this, you that. Right? Well, not necessarily a lame, just are victims, victimizing ourselves and victimizing each other. Simple. Okay? So that's harmful language. There is a time and place for it, and I'm not necessarily saying that it's going to be clear out of my vocabulary. However, I'm going to reduce it a lot. That's what I see when I look at myself in the mirror. A person who uses a ton of profanity. Gonna stop it. Gonna stop it because that's even causing me to be disrespectful toward people that I shouldn't even be disrespecting. Or should I disrespect those people? That's neither here nor there. I need to stop with the harmful language. And maybe you too. Right? Maybe you too. We all have our own demons, right? We all have our own roads to cross. So what we're going to talk about today, if we're talking about not doing any harm, what we're going to talk about today is a black male's value system. Value system. So a white boy has his value system. He does. And a black male has a value system. Now, the difference between the two is that the black male, his value system is based on his nature. A black male's value system is not based on his nature. It is based on a system of value in which the white male has given to us. And that system is primarily from the shores of West Africa to America. And so, what is that value system? What is the value system? That value system is sex. Not to get too vulgar on YouTube, our value system is, it starts with the P, ends with the Y. Fill it in however you like. But you know what I'm talking about. That is the black male's value system. How can I tell? And how can you tell? Well, we're going to kind of put this through a little litmus test. Here's the test. Whenever you wake up, every day, day after day, month after month, year after year, whatever you wake up doing, at the end of the night, if that is your goal, at the end of the night, for some people, it's every night. Sometimes with 2, 3, 4, 8 different women a night. That is what you value the most. Some of you religious people out there, if you know the Bible verse, where a man's treasure is where his heart is also. Where a man's heart is where his treasure is. Sorry about that. Where his heart is where his treasure is. For most African American males, where's your treasure? Because that's where you'll find your heart. That's what the scripture is saying. And so what that scripture means is, in today's terms, you'll find predominantly black males at the strip clubs making it rain. That's where your heart is. It's not by accident. That was something that was given to you on purpose. On purpose. It was to solve two problems that white males had. And those two problems are, one, he needed you to reproduce because your reproduction was based on his productivity and him making money. As slaves, our jobs was to produce more slaves, period. That's what a buck is. A buck is to make a buck. Young buck. That's what a buck is. It's to go out and to have sex with multiple women, create as many children as you possibly can, and in some instances, the boys was even having sex with their own mamas. They will put a brown paper bag over his head so he can have sex with his mother so she can make more children. And so, fellas, if you notice what your life is like, when you wake up in the morning, I'm going to get the job, so I'll put on the best clothes or your best outfit or whatever you're doing. And you're going to go out, you're going to attack the world. So all day long, what are you doing? You're showing off. I got the most money. I got the best car. I got the good house. So at the end of the day, you can have sex. That's a value system that has been given to you that is not working for the black male group. This doesn't work. It helps continue to perpetuate a cycle. Am I telling you not to have sex? No, that is not what I'm saying. What I'm simply saying is that's what we are conditioned to value. So you have to examine all of your actions. All of your actions you have to examine. You have to say, hey, listen, am I going to go get this job so I can save some money, so I can be a productive member of my community, so I could develop something for my children, for my lineage, so that they will have a decent place to live? Or are you saying, hey, look, there goes Shorty over there, man, shit, thought, man, I could go ahead, I can get that, and I can do that, and I can get this, that, and the third, and then next thing you know, I have her in the bed with me. See, we have been conditioned to value that. If you notice, all of the songs that's out there about black males is about having sex. Period. What was it, DMX? That dude, he done named 50 women in one song. And of those 50 women, just look, what type of community has he built? What type of community has he built? Right? No, this is what he did. He did just what the slave master taught him to do. So this is what he did. The slave master. The slave master gave us two types of personas. The same type of persona, but you guys will be able to get it once I let you know. The first persona, the black male he puts on, the black male is a dog. A dog. They got you saying when you greet each other, "What's up, dog? What's up, dog? Wait, what's up, dog? What's happening, dog?" Right? The persona of the female. She is a bitch. So now he has successfully stopped calling you niggas to reduce you down to you being just like a dog, a animal. And because you are black and you're not understanding this is the reason why they continue to call us niggas. Because a nigga is something to be laughed at. So no, you're not a nigga and you're not a dog. You're not an animal. Our females out here, they are not bitches. Because they are not animals. So if you say, stop acting like it, that's right. It is an act. That's not the way we are. That's not the way you are. That's not the way I am. That's not the way we are designed. It is an act. DMX is an entertainer. Selling records based off of, and I'm just using DMX as an example, because if you notice, look at all of the music that they made, all of the R&B music, the baby making music, all of that music, although it sounds good, it plays directly into your value system. And who controls the music? White people. There's white people who own the rights to all of the music. That's right. They financed an entire industry for decades based off of our value system that they gave us. And they said, watch, these niggas will dance their way right into continuing on with their value system. And then later on, when they start having kids, we're going to be sure that they can't afford them. So we're going to hit their ass with child support. And when they can't pay, we're going to send them back to prison, which prison is nothing else but slavery. That's right. If you did not notice, slavery is still legal in America. It's still legal. The 13th Amendment of the Constitution says slavery is illegal except if you go to prison. That's how they made slavery still legal. So, as black males, what we should be saying is anybody who's attempting to do harm to us, they are going to have a problem with us. Because our rules are do no harm. So anyone who sees us, they should not be doing any harm to us, period. Our wives, our girlfriends, our mothers, the police, the government, anybody that sees us, they should not be doing harm to us. But the reason why they are doing harm to us is because our value system is messed up. Our value system is way out of the way. It's so far out of whack, they can't see respect in us for nothing in the world. They say black males, they value having sex more than they are valuing production. Do you understand what that means? You value having sex more than you value taking care of your family. And I don't want you to say, well, brother, I take care of my family. You know, I don't really need to listen to this. No, stop and listen and pay attention. Focus. Because you may take care of your family. You may not have this issue, But the way society is society is designed to get your son to fall into the same trap. How do you think it continues to happen over and over again, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade? It's going on centuries now. I'm not going to preach at you. I'm not going to preach at you. Right? I'm not going to preach at you. But in order for us to become masters of the universe, in order for us to become masters of the universe, we have to stop and we have to ask ourselves, what is my value system? What do I value the most? I can tell you this. Value system is so jacked up. Black males is around. And what we're doing is we're blaming everyone else for our value system. For example, if Trayvon Martin's father would have valued his son, do you think that George Zimmerman would really be hanging around on this planet? Really? If Mike Brown's father would have valued his son, you think that cop will still be here? Am I telling you to go out to kill people? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. People pull it with you. They disrespect you because they know that they can. Period. They pull it with you. They disrespect you because they know you're not going to do anything. Because if they knew you were going to do something about whatever the issue was, then they wouldn't pull it with you. It just wouldn't. People know who to respect and who to disrespect. And the reason why they disrespect you is simply because you don't value the right things. For example, if black men, if we value production. First, let's back up a little bit. As a black male, our value system is sex. So what is the value system of a white male? White males, they value two things. White males value productivity and execution. Productivity and execution. Now, if you think I'm wrong, listen to the New England Patriots. They won the game. Yep. We had a good day. We were very productive, had a very productive week in practice. We came out this week, was able to execute, and we was able to win the game. That's it. That's the press conference. Right? They lose the game. Well, although we had a productive week in practice, we wasn't able to execute out here this week. It's unfortunate. Things didn't go our way. Better luck next week. We're going to hit the field, back to practice. That's the interview. They value productivity. If you notice, look around you. They are producing everything. And black males, we are sitting back with our feet up on the table like we done something. We're sitting back like, hey, yeah, I made that. And then they successfully tricked us into believing, hey, yeah. If you make the money, you the man. No, you're not. The man is always the one who pays you. That's the man. Don't you think that our sisters see this? Don't you think that? I mean, you just have to. I mean, there's no possible way that she could that you can't see it. There's no possible way that you can't see it. You should be able to see it. Black women is like, hey, he think he the man. Ah, you know who the man is? The man is the guy who brings the lights in. You know, so when I could turn the lights on, the man is the one who provides the heat in the house. Oh, girl, he think, and it's their conversations, and you hear him. Oh, girl, yeah, he think he doing something because he make a little money. He think he brought something home. The man is not the provider. The man is the one who produces. That's the man. For y'all who believe in the Bible said God provides everything that you need according to his riches and glory. Now, for those who believe in the Bible, who's the man? First of all, who is your God? God is your provider, right? Well, who's the one doing all the providing? White men. So white men are your gods. That's who your God is. So let's reevaluate our value system. Let's reevaluate it. Listen, I'm not telling you not to like women or a man or whoever you like. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here. Because once we start going more into what we were talking about on the last show in terms of Nearly Fuller's 9 areas of life, 9 areas of activity, we're going to talk about sex, and we're going to talk about sex being harmful and in what manner scientifically. Now, this is according to the science that we know, but we're going to develop our own and produce our own scientific, our own science labs. As black males, we have not produced any science labs that I know of. So if we're not producing any science labs, then how can we know what we're doing as a group is harmful? Right? So production. The white boy, his value system is production and execution. And if you get in the way of his production, he will execute you. So what is the solution? Solution 1 is to have respect for yourself. Enough respect so that your value system, that you are being respectful of yourself, so that the value system of sex does not run your life. What that means, showing off. If you got a stunt, if you have to show off, if you feel like, oh man, yeah, man, I got to go be around other white people so I can feel validated, I'm going to floss on their yacht. Your value system is off. You ain't nothing. You are harming yourself. Oh, yeah, you know, I have to be around all of these other academics, you know, and I'm going to hang out with them, and I'm going to show how much I know, and then eventually at the end of the night, I'm going to climb in the bed with a white woman. Or, yeah, man, I'm an athlete, man. I just rushed for 300 yards today, and, you know, I got my car, and I got the after party. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man, and then I'm going to go hop in the bed with 16 females. Your value system is off. And white males know that. That's how they continue to control us. I say masters of the universe, and I start talking about sex, and then your mind say, hey, I am the master sex man in bed. I'm the master, I'm the man. That's BS. And you know it. That's BS and you know it. The goal here is for us to become masters of the universe. Of the, not just this planet, but the entire universe like we once were. And I'm not going to wish any ill on anyone. However, what I am going to say is this. A bitch plus a dog equals a nigga. A bitch plus a dog equals a nigga. And before anybody get bent out of shape about that, a bitch is a female dog in this context. And it's unfortunate that our African-American females, they have accepted the mantra of being called a bitch. That's probably because none of y'all never really seen them, really actually sat down and watched the behavior of a female dog. Because if you did, you wouldn't want to be called a bitch. Not hardly. Because a bitch, especially a pit bull bitch, they do some treacherous things. And it's very disrespectful and very unbecoming, especially of a female. Right? So, what do we want to do in order to solve this? Have some respect for ourselves. We don't do any harm. So we want to have some respect for ourselves. We do. Let's flip our value system around. I'm saying this. Let's be more productive. Let's be more productive. And let's execute a little bit more on that productivity. We still can have sex, but we're going to check our sexual behavior and our reasons for having sex. I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm just trying to show you something, point out some things to you, so that way we can stop harming ourselves. We can become better men for our community. We can become better men for ourselves. Become better men for our family, for our children, for our women, for our mothers, for our fathers. Look at what type of value system we have. We haven't even taken the time to develop a system for our elderly people. Here's what we're doing. We're stealing. Our elderly people give us information to guide us through life. We don't even develop a system to come back to take care of them. Instead, we go along with that and continue to go along our value system. So now we're spending time having more sex, spending time with multiple females, and we're stealing our time away from the people that helped us and the people that's coming after us. The job for the people that's stuck in the middle, you know, if you're in your late 20s, 30s, 50s, our jobs is not to see how many females we can have sex with. That's not the job. Your focus is thrown off and you know it's crap. You know it. So what do? Shift the focus of your value. If there are older people that's valuable to you, shift your focus there. Your children, shift your focus there, becoming better fathers, becoming better husbands. We have to shift our focus. Listen, and in terms of becoming better husbands, we lay down and we have sex with these women. How about taking some time to talk to them? Explain to them what white supremacy racism is. Most of them don't even know. Sit them down and listen to Neely Fuller, Dr. Claude Anderson. Sit them down. Those are the only two guys right now who are worth listening to. And Dr. Joy. Those are the only three people worth listening to. Everyone else who tries to explain history to you, everyone else who tries to give you some financial literacy, everyone else who tries to do anything else besides talk to you about your current state and where you are, where you've been, that's okay. But first you have to understand where you are. And as black males, you are in a system of white supremacy that's designed for you to do harm to yourself. And then you have to sit down and you have to talk to your females about where you are and how to take care of yourself economically. Dr. Claude Anderson. But understand that every black person is suffering right now from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorders. And that's based on the fact that we are dealing and living in a system of white supremacy racism. And what that has produced is for you to have a value system to where you focus nothing more than just having sex at the end of the night so that you won't be in the same game as the white man. What game is that? Natural resources of the planet. That's where you ought to be. Everybody said, well, the white man, they had to start from somewhere. They had to start from somewhere. They started, well, the white man started at the bottom. No, he didn't. Because the bottom in this country is African-American males, period. Black females are above us. Mexicans are above us. Latinos are above us. The people from India are above us. Hell, the Indians are above us. Last but not least, the white man. Where we're going, straight to the top. That's where we're headed. So black males, time to lace them up. They said we got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Hell, we're going to start by making the boots. That's where we're going to start. And not only are we going to start by making the boots, but we're going to provide boots to every damn body on this planet. Even if we got to go to the Amazon and get them brothers over there to wear some boots too. That's where we're headed. Everywhere. Because we are the masters of this planet. And I'm sure that somewhere down in history, it was a brother who came up with the idea for boots in the first place. The reason why we're losing is because our value system is focused on sex instead of being focused on the productivity of the planet. The white boys don't like competition in that area, and that's where we are going, directly to them. Unless you're scared. Yeah, look at you. You scared. You scared. You don't want to mess around with that white boy. I know a lot of y'all don't want to mess around with that white boy. Because you want to mess around with that black girl. That's what you want to do. You want to give her a hard time. Right? That's what you want to do. Yeah, you want to go to the strip clubs that he built and make it rain. Take all your money, make it rain. That's what you want to do. Yeah, you scared of him. Look at him. So he been mighty good to me. He gives me a good job. I could throw some touchdown passes. I got a house. He paid me $40 million. And I got millions. I'm successful. No, you're not. You're not. The success is in providing the leather that they use to make the football. That's where the success is. But no, you still think it's made out of pig skin. Nah. We have to reevaluate our value system so that based on what we think, how we are as African American males, with special people, very unique, resilient, strong. And just because some female taught you, you need to know your place, child. Don't go around there messing with that white man. He gonna do something strange to you. Somebody taught you that, and more than likely it was a female. She introduced you to that type of fear. And so now here you go. Even if you're talking about a fact, it's a fact that you could be getting off the exit a mile down the road. That's a fact. We getting off at that exit. Then somebody will come along and say, another man will come along and say, well, I feel like, you know, we should be getting off at that exit. You feel? How are you going to feel a fact? Those are the problems that we have been predisposed to. It's time to check ourselves. Check yourself. Make sure that your stuff is still down there. And now it's time to learn how to appropriately use them. When you wake up in the morning, stretch, do your little joint, and here's what you say. My job today is to do everything in my power to get rid of white supremacy racism and introduce a system of justice on this planet. That's your job every day. Sex is going to come. It will. But you're actually working harder for the prize than you would if you just do what your regular job function is supposed to be, which is getting rid of white supremacy racism. That's your job. Instead, you work hard to get a lot less. Boy, I tell you, if you want to talk about having women, if you want to talk about that, I guarantee you'll be in competition with that white man. These females will be lining up, knocking down your door. Buddy, what's the saying? They'll be searching for you in the daytime with a flashlight. Because that's where your power comes from. That's where you are the most powerful. Going after him. And once you go after him, you'll quickly find that he ain't really even no competition. You just doing what you think is easy. Then that's based off of what somebody told you is hard. Now, what should this conversation do? It should be that, you know something? Shame on you and shame on me. Shame on me. Why? Because I have not taught you about white supremacy racism. Shame on me because my value system only added up to me just being with you, period. Well, why is it shame on her? Because every day she knows that she is supposed to be getting up telling you everything that you need to do in order to help make her feel safer and secure. See, the way that this white man has designed is for you to become her slave. And shame on her for that, because it almost seemed like a deal that they done struck. Because she knows better. She knows what makes her feel safe. She knows what makes her feel secure. She knows that she loves that electricity to be on. And she knows she don't pay that money to no black man either in order to keep it on. She knows it. The sad part is you know it too. You pay whatever light, gas, and water bill to a white person. You own a home and you just pay taxes and you just let it ride. Here's the sad part. Most black people live in white neighborhoods and they wind up paying more in taxes for a house than the white people that already live there. And for the people, for your kids to go to school, and you ain't even, the majority of the kids that go to the school is white. Shame on you all. Now it's time for us to fix it. White people are definitely not interested in fixing your problems. I'm just taking care of some things here. I just want to see here. Hey, if you guys are on and you guys are if you guys are in the live chat, right? Hey, say something good to me. But yeah, our value system is way off. Our value system is way off. And we can get it back. We just have to do some reevaluation. Now, the beauty about being, and I know it's pretty difficult as far as being a African American, right? Is the fact that we have been blank slated, for lack of better terms, right? We have been blank slated. And because we have been blank slated, we don't quite know where we are in terms of because we have been blank slated, we don't quite know where we are in terms of history, right? Hey, thanks for showing up. Was that Satin? Is that, am I saying that right? Satin? Right. And so what we want to do is we want to become back to my thought. Back to my thought. I'm just reading the chat here. But back to my thought. Because we've been blank slated, we have an opportunity to choose our own destiny. We have that opportunity. Okay? But we have to change our value system in order to get there. I mean, really, we are drinking and drugging and doing entirely too much in the name of sex. as if we like never had it before. What's the term? You thirsty? I mean, you wake up in the morning thirsty? You know what I mean? So let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna see if I can do this and how I can do this because this is my first time actually doing this. And what I'm gonna attempt to do is I'm gonna attempt to put the uh, the link in a chat, right? So that you guys, hey, I just want you to come on. I mean, we're early on, right? And I know that, I know that I'm like the guy who's always talking, right? And, even though I do talk a lot, I don't want to be that guy who doesn't get a chance to hear from you, right? I don't want to be that guy who doesn't get a chance to hear from you. Let's see. I'm going to figure this one out. Because what we want to do, I mean, seriously, I mean, that's just the way I see things, right? Now, I'm not always right. I just know a lot. I just know an awful lot about what it is that I'm talking about. So if you guys see something, you guys see something different than me, hey, let me know. All right, let me know because you guys may be seeing some things that is the same as um, as other people. All right, I don't know what that is. I don't know where is the link to the chat. That's okay because I'm going to find it. But man, I will find it. Satin, so what do you think? Do you think our value system as black males, do you think it's jacked up? And if so, what do you think about that? All right, I'm trying to give the family some time to respond back. Um, but what we're going to do, and I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit, seeing what it is that we can chop it up, how we can chop it up, and how we can become actually better people. Because, like I said, these lives, these are this is the channel where we do, right? This is where we do things, right? So if you have If you have any suggestions about how people can become better people, because that's what we're here for, right? We need to become better people for our families, right? We just simply do. We simply do. We need to become better people for our neighborhoods. But what we can't do is we can't allow a mainstream system to continue to control and continue to run our lives. So if sex is our primary value system as African American males, my suggestion is that we add, first of all, we don't do any harm to each other. So we add respect to our lives, right? We start by respecting ourselves. We start by respecting others, right? And then we start becoming producers, and execute on what it is that we say that we're going to do. We start out producing something, we execute on it. We see it all the way through. And we have more than enough drive not to allow frivolous things to get us sidetracked, like sex. I mean, that's just where I see things. Let's see, where can I find it? I'm going to start having you guys come onto the show and give your thoughts. All right, you guys are going to come hang out with me. You got to come hang out with me. You know, a person too. All right. I'll tell you what, the next live that we get on, the next live that we have, I promise you, we're actually going to have a guest on our next live so that we can start having more people come in on the show. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of comments. I get a lot of telephone calls, and I want to have those people come onto the show because, you know, I hear your feedbacks. I hear your arguments. All right. I hear them. Oh, I mean, believe me, you guys, I get an earful about everything that's going on in the community, how we can change it, you know, what black men need to do, what black women need to do, and this, that, and the third, right? And if black males who are the leaders, because we are priority number one, right? You are the first priority. You are, right? And we have to make ourselves the first priority. No one's just going to give us that. No one's just going to say, oh, okay, I'm just going to make you priority number one today. No. Right? That's just not not how that works. Right? You have to make yourself the top priority. And that's going to start with respect. So family, what I'm going to do right now is that I'm actually going to end this live, right? And I have some more stuff that I need to talk with you guys about on the next show. So this is the priority first show. What I need to talk to you guys about in a little bit, maybe within like the next half hour or so, what we're going to be talking about is ending the parasites, right? And how and what we should be looking for in terms of an economic plan, right? So we've already touched on it. I've already gave you the gist of it. Now there's people calling me on my phone, right? People I haven't really talked to in a long time, right? And they're talking to me and they're talking to me and they're talking to me about economics and planning. But fellas, we need you guys. We need you guys to follow this so that we can start working on our economic plan. We need you guys to stop showing off. We need you guys not to do any harm to each other. We need you guys to control and to come up with a different value system so that we can start working on our economic plans. Fellas, we don't have like 10 years to do this. We got like yesterday to start. Right? We have like yesterday. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump off of this one. Right? And I want you guys to meet me in about a half an hour at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock. I want you guys to meet me over there and we can talk about on our next show, we can talk about the economic plans and what we plan on doing. Okay? Because I want to make it very clear about what the economic plan should be and what it should look like. All right? Thanks, family. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you again for being with me because you could have been anywhere. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Hey, and if you want to go live on the show, come on the show. You know, I won't bite, and I promise you I make everything. Well, I bite sometimes. But I promise you, we will hey, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You know, for the ladies out there, we're not just here to help you. We are here to be the men that you need for us to be. Y'all don't need us to provide anything for you. You guys seem to do very well providing on your own. What you guys need for us to do is to be producers for you. To produce things that you need and want. Our job is to snatch them out of our brains and bring them to life. That's the job. That's if you want to see God, if you're not on this planet, look at black males. If you want to see God, look at black males. We think of some of the most unbelievable things, and we are able to bring them to life. That's called a producer. What we have all been fooled by is mass production. What does that mean? A black male has dreamed up something, brought it to life, and a white person has taken it and mass produced it. And because you are getting the mass production, you actually think that it comes from a white man. And it did not. It actually came from a black man. And there were times, and that is called, mass production is actually called manufacturing. White men, they know how to manufacture very well to produce an output that will give it to the masses of people. But 99% of the ideas and 99% of the things that you actually use came from the brainchild of a black man. And we all know that. The issue is now is how do black males get back into the mass production industry? And you stick with me, fellas, I'm going to show you how. Don't wait too long. Like, subscribe, share. Fellas, if we wait too long, then guess what's going to happen? We're eventually going to lose everything. It's like waiting too long to pay a mortgage on a house. Once you wait too long, you eventually lose the house. This planet is our home. Don't wait too long. Peace, family. Meet me in about 7 o'clock.